Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good morning to all. So welcome to the webinar session on getting to know Amazon Web Services, AWS, through AWS Educate. So before starting the next agenda this morning, let me start by introducing myself. I'm Noliza binti Muhammad Zaini, and I'm currently holding the position as the head of Center for Computer Engineering Studies at the Faculty of Electrical Engineering, UiTM Shah Alam. And today I'm going to be the moderator for this webinar session. Right, okay, so let me first give you a little bit of background on what we'll be discussing today. For your information, Amazon Web Services or AWS is a subsidiary of Amazon, providing on-demand cloud computing platforms and web services to individuals, companies, and governments. So this is being done on a metered pay-as-you-go basis, which means that we just pay for whatever resources or services that we are using. Okay. So these cloud computing web services provide a variety of basic abstract technical infrastructure and distributed computing building blocks and tools. Okay, that's about the AWS, Amazon Web Services. While for AWS Educate, it is actually the Amazon's global initiative to provide students comprehensive resources for building skills in the cloud. So it is a no-cost curriculum providing access to content, training pathways, AWS service, and also the AWS Educate job board with employment opportunities. So today we have Madam Emily Hui to introduce us to these matters in her talk on getting to know Amazon Web Services through AWS Educate. Okay, for your information, this webinar can be accessed not only through Cisco WebEx, but also through live broadcasts on the UiTM YouTube channel. We appreciate if all participants can turn off your camera and microphone, and we hope that you can give your full attention to the talk that will be delivered in this webinar, right? Okay, to understand the audience level of understanding about AWS, we hope all participants could fill up the pre-webinar surveys using the QR code provided. It's being shown here, right? The QR code, can you see that? Is it showing? Sorry. I need to confirm whether it is showing or not. The QR code?
Should I share?
Okay, so that's the QR code for the participant to fill up the pre-webinar survey. So for your information, the same survey will be given after the talk, just to see how much this talk could increase your knowledge and change your perception on the AWS and AWS Educate. Right. So before we start, I would like to invite our Deputy Dean of Research and Innovation from the Faculty of Electrical Engineering, UiTM, in Senior Technologies, Dr. Shahrul Afzal bin Sheikh Abdullah, to deliver his opening speech. Okay, welcome, Doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Noliza. Assalamualaikum and good morning. It's my pleasure to welcome all participants to the webinar, Getting to Know Amazon Web Services through AWS Educate. Alright, this webinar is conducted to introduce Amazon Web Services and AWS Educated to participants. Amazon Web Services provide platform and software which could be beneficial for research and education purpose. I hope all participants will take this opportunity to get to know the services provided and further utilize the services in your academic activities. Without further ado, I would like to pass the mic back to Dr. Noliza to proceed with the webinar. Thank you again for joining us today and hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Shahrul Afzal, for the opening speech. Okay, now I'm pleased to introduce our speaker, Madam Emily Hui from AWS. So, Madam Emily, she received her bachelor's degree in computational science from University Malaysia Sarawak and her master's degree in computer science from University Malaya. With more than 15 years experience in IT education industry, she is now the Technical Enablement Program Manager in AWS. So today, she'll be sharing her expertise in her talk, Getting to Know Amazon Web Services through AWS Educate. Madam Emily will give the talk for 1 hour, followed by 5 minutes break, and then she will continue with the next talk. until 11:45, and then we are going to have the Q&A session. So for audience, you may write your questions at the chat box and YouTube channel where we discuss the questions at the end of the program. So to kickstart, please welcome Madam Emily Hui from AWS to deliver her talk.
Thanks, Dr. Naliza. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy that I can actually share in the sessions with you today. Probably I can't hear very well because the line seems to be like lagging from my side. Anyway, if you do have any questions, please just drop the questions in the chat and we will actually observe the question and answer accordingly. First of all, thank you again for inviting me, having these sessions with you. And I'm so glad that we're sharing a lot of information with you, especially not only about AWS services as general, but I'm also going to share with you on what is AWS Educate and how are you going to benefit from the Educate programs that we offer to all the higher institutions. And also in the second sessions later on, the second part, I'm going to guide you through on the Educate web portal itself. So for those who are actually new in this AWS Educate program, and you can actually sign up for today also. The promo code is also attached into the sign up form, and you will be entitled having 100 credits for today for those who are actually joining for the seminar for today. All right. So for today's sessions, I just wanted to make it a little bit more interactive. So there'll be a couple of questions we'll be asking you around also so that you can actually reply into the chat box. And then I have our panelists observing the entire chat box and respond to me because I can't see the chat box at the same time. Okay. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Emily Hui, and I'm the Technical Enablement Program Manager actually in AWS, which focusing on public sector. So in AWS, we actually have three main categories of our customers. The first one is actually enterprise customer who are in commercial. Second is definitely public sector, which where I am be now. So public sector is focusing on the governments, non-profit organizations, education. So I'm actually helping up in public sector. Now, the third things I would like to share with you is I'm actually already 3 years plus in AWS Malaysia. All right. And focusing on all the enablements in AWS. Previous role, I was the technical trainers, which are actually delivering all kinds of technical knowledge training courses to all my customers, including commercial. So now I'm actually focusing to public sector. One of it is you. All right. Okay. Cool. Now let's move on. Now, what I'm going to share with you for today is I'm not too sure how many people of you are new to AWS. Can you all just respond to the chat box, sharing with me that are you new in AWS? Are you new in AWS? So probably you can just say yes or no. Oh, cool. I can see some pop-up reply on the chat box. So are you new in AWS? Cool. Welcome to AWS. Great. I can see Raja Hafiz say yes. Yeah. Any more? Yes.
They are our final year students, Madam Emily.
Okay.
Most of them are.
Thank you, Dr. Naliza. All right. New. Okay, cool. All right. So before I'm going to start with, cool. Today you're going to use it. Thank you, Fazia. So today you're going to use it. So what will happen is I'm going to share with you, firstly, is what is the cloud. All right. And anybody having some idea when people ask what is the cloud? What were you going to say? What is the cloud? What is cloud? A data center far, far away, a virtual storage, okay, online storage, all right. Any more? A storage, okay, interesting. Online storage, okay. Last one. Storage also, okay. Now, the term cloud computing, all right, the term cloud computing referring to first point, that is on-demand delivery of IT resources. Via internet is the second point. Third point is pay-as-you-go pricing. So there are three main points when people talk about cloud computing, then you need to be aware that there are three main points we are talking about. When we talk about cloud computing, that means that when you want to have any resources, the resources can be compute servers, can be database, can be storage, okay, can be network, all right, can be AI, can be IoT, all right, can be mobile applications, all right, or any user application that is needed. Now, these are all resources that is needed for IT perspective. So when you need all these resources, we are talking about on-demand delivery. On-demand delivery means that you need it now, we can give you to you now. Like say in this scenario, I need 3 servers is running for my application. I just request through cloud computing platform, you were able to supply me that 3 servers that I needed. You got that? That's on-demand delivery of IT resources. It doesn't limit to only storage, but it's all IT resources that is needed. Second, we need internet. Without internet, then you cannot actually able to connecting to your resources. All right. Third is pay-as-you-go pricing. Now, when you actually utilizing cloud computing resources, how does it charge? It's actually just like your electrical consumption. When you turn on the light, your electric current is running, and they will be charging as according how much you are utilizing. Same as in cloud computing environments, that when you consume a server for 10 hours, then the charging will be coming in only for these 10 hours. So if you shut down, if you terminate the servers after 10 hours, then no more charging will be applied. So that is the 3 main points when we talk about cloud computing. First, on-demand delivery of your IT resources. Second, it have to be go through internet. Third is pay-as-you-go pricing. Now, how does cloud computing can benefit many industry? So instead of you have to own, you have to buy, you have to maintain your own data centers, such as the power storage, your database, your utilities, your data centers, physical data centers itself. All this thing is actually unique operation. You need a lot of investment, which is actually applied on it. So for this case, when you turn it on into cloud environments, then it's just like consumer flick a switch and then turn on the light at their home, and the power company will send the electricity. So how much you consume, you just pay as accordingly. So nearly every major industry across the globe is benefiting from the cloud, including such as like automotive, digital marketing, education, as where I'm here today, financial services, gaming, healthcare, oil and gas, manufacturing, travel, telecom, retail, power utilities, all are actually benefiting the cloud computing today. Okay? All right. Any questions? Please just put into the chat box. I will actually observing the questions at the same time. Yeah. If I'm missing up your question, my panelists will also going to alert me at the same time. Now, cloud computing by numbers, if you look at this slide itself, the cloud computing have been ranked as top since 2014, where 80% of the enterprise IT will move to the cloud by 2025. say 94% of the workload will process in the cloud by 2021, which is next year. All right. So all this data is actually getting from the source such as Cisco, Forbes, and LinkedIn. Okay. So you can't be like just stay here and you're not aware about cloud nowadays. Everybody are actually running their workload on the cloud. Any questions on what is cloud now? Cloud computing should be put into more details in this case. 3 main points on cloud computing. All right. Now, what is AWS? A little bit sharing with you. Anyone know about what is the full terms of AWS? Can you just put into the chat box? What's the full terms of AWS? Before I'm going to tell a little bit story about AWS. Very good. Amazon Web Services. Oh, thank you, Raja. Now, AWS platform actually was launched in July 2002. A bit sharing history with you. All right. So AWS platform was launched in July 2002. So in this early stage, the platform consists of only a few disparate tools and services. How does this AWS is actually being formed up is because we actually also looking into our own Amazon businesses, which having problems in terms of scaling, in terms of high availability. So that's why we're building all these tools to help ourselves to solve the problem first. And we found that it is very useful. So that's why we actually publish out to the public and let everybody can actually utilize it. So in late 2003, the AWS concept was publicly reformulated when Chris Pinkham and Benjamin Black presented a paper describing a vision of Amazon's retail computing infrastructures that was completely standardized, completely automated, and rely on extensive on web services for services such as storage and withdrawal on internal work already underway. So near to the end of their paper, they mentioned about the possibility of selling the access of the virtual servers and as a services. So that's what I'm sharing with you just now. So proposing the company could generate the revenue from the new infrastructure investment. So in November 2004, the first AWS services launched for public usage. Do you know what service is that called? In November 2004. You can quickly cepat Google. In 2004, the first AWS services launched for public usage. Anybody managed to get the answer? 2004, eh? Really hard to find that actually. Anyone? Exactly. Yes, Azizan, you got a very good answer. All right, so in 2004, the first AWS services launched for public usage is SQS, Simple Queue Services. Exactly. So that's why Pinkham and lead developer Christopher Brown, they developed the EC2, which with a team in Cape Town, South Africa. All right, so you can see that a lot of people confused that they thought that EC2 or X3 is the first services launched in AWS. Actually, it's SQS. And then they only moved down to EC2. Officially launched, okay? So AWS was officially relaunched on March 14, 2006. Combining the three initial service offering of S3, which is the storage, okay? Online storage services, SQS, and EC2. So these are the three initial service offering during the official relaunch on March 14, 2006. All right. So until today, 2020, AWS is already 14 years in the market. all right, when we offer more than 200 services for our public customers nowadays. Do you know who is our CEO? Do you want to guess who is our CEO? AWS CEO. He is also AWS founder and vice president in 2006. At the time that Amazon S3 helped free developers from worrying about where they're going to store their data. Do you know who is he? My idol? Exactly. Thanks, Faiz. Andy Jassy. Now, Andy Jassy, every year, we actually having a very huge event, which is called reInvent. So this year, reInvent is actually free for everyone to join, and it's break down to 3 weeks. So every year during this reInvent, previously they are all launched in Las Vegas. So we are inviting our customers fly over to Las Vegas to join these grand events. But this year, due to COVID, so everything will be running through online. And if you want to join for the previous year's reInvent, there is a ticket that you need to purchase. But this year, everything is free for everyone. So during this reInvent, Andy Jassy will be giving the keynote and sharing what are the services is being newly available to our customers. So it's very interesting that if you can join, also just to listen to what Andy Jassy were willing to share with you. Okay, so Amazon Web Services providing the broadest and deepest cloud platform, and we are very focusing on innovations. So the next slide that I want to share with you is actually we are a very customer obsessed company. So when you look into the number of the services that we offer to our customer, then I'm going to share with you a couple of slides later, then 90% of the roadmap of all these services are originated with customer requests. So that means customer is the one who tell AWS, say, hey, AWS, we need this kind of services with this kind of features. So we have features requests coming from the customer, and then we design and then wrap it as a services offer back to our customers. So 90% of all these services are coming from customer requests. Okay, so that's why you can see they are designed mainly to meet the specific needs for our customers. So one sharing from Heroku saying that performance, reliability, and responsiveness are the fundamental to our customer experience. So, and T3 instance help us to deliver on the customer promise while also controlling our costs. So Heroku is one of our customers. So he is actually sharing with us that 3 main things are very important for them. The first one definitely is the performance. And then second is reliability. It must be performed well. When you do a clicking on the application as a consumer, it must be able to respond almost immediately. If I click and then I have to wait for 5 minutes or 1 minute, even though I will say that this is not good application anymore. Reliability is means that when I actually clicking on your application or I using your application, I use it for today, the next hour you tell me it is down. And this is not reliable. Or I want to perform an online storage, it unable to actually perform the storage for me. Then this is also not reliable. Responsiveness is actually related to the performance also. When I actually clicking on your website, perform some action, you're able to give me some response. If no response just hanging there, that's not what customer wants. Okay, so that's one of the sharing by Heroku. So that's why AWS are focusing on innovations, because we want to build many services to accommodate what this customer needs. And most of the time, all right, we spend a lot of the time on innovations to create more services that can benefit our customer all the time. So that's why AWS is the largest global community of customers and partners. And as I share with you, we're already 14 years in the market. We are the most mature cloud platform. If you do look into statistics, If you do look into statistics, every year all the cloud providers, okay, all the cloud providers is actually being evaluated by Gartner's reports. So in the Gartner's reports, we are proudly to share with you that for the consecutive 10 years, we are still in the leaderboards for the Gartner's reports, Gartner quadrants reports. Okay. So why are organizations moving to the cloud? Why they have to move to the cloud? So a lot of the companies is migrating their data centers into the cloud platforms, or even some startup companies, like every one of you, maybe once you graduated, you want to form your own startup company because you have a great, brilliant ideas. So you can actually utilize AWS platform to run your applications. All right. So simply it's because they can benefit a lot in terms of maintenance, in terms of storage. They can benefit a lot of things. Now, what will be the benefit? Let me share with you. First, it is more agile. So we allow companies to quickly spin up the resources when they need it. For example, if I'm a startup, startup means that I'm just a newly formed company. I don't have much model in order to invest into what I want to build. So in a case, I need to have a lot of resources. I need servers, I need database, I need storage. Well, how can I actually afford to purchase all these resources? I don't. So now one thing is easy. If let's say I afford also, and I set up my platform, but I need to think of where I need to find the skills in order to maintain, okay, to apply security, to do backup and recovery. Okay, after 3 years, I need to think of upgrading my resources. All this need money, all this need investment. Now, AWS providing you the platform that easily for you to spin out the resources. You need server, just go to the portal, click, click, click. Maybe less than 1 minute, you already can get 3 servers as needed. You can set up your database. You can set up your storage, link them together. You can even doing some application without any servers also, but everything is running on the cloud. The good thing is we can have the design that all these resources will be managed by AWS. And what you need to do is you just need to concentrate on your application developments, and then it can be deployed. And then it will be able to run. The whole process will be run easily. And then another good thing is, how about if you don't want the resources anymore? In reality, you need to think of how you're going to dispose all these resources. But in cloud, it's just a simple few clicks, you can release your resources easily. Yeah. So agility is there. Second is they are very cost saving because why? Because it's consumption model. If I just run my server 5 hours every day, I just pay for these 5 hours. There's no commitment that you need to utilize the servers 10 hours in a week. No commitment ever. It's totally up to consumption basis. Third is elasticity. Very, very, very important. I'm a startup. I have the application running on AWS. And now what happened is my business is so good during the promotion period. Like previously, I believe a lot of people are doing online shopping nowadays. Okay. How many people actually do online shopping on Shopee? I heard the advertisement on Shopee that day in Oslo, like 10, 10, 10, 10, you know? It's very, very creative. Okay, so a lot of people are doing online shoppings nowadays, especially someone now is a MCO period and we are in the CMCO or RMCO, okay? And a lot of people are actually doing purchasing online. So do you aware that Shopee is actually running on AWS? Shopee is actually running on AWS? No? Okay. All right. No worries. There's a lot of company running on AWS. Now, what's happening is during the 10, for example, all right, there's a lot of requests coming suddenly. So the problem is at the back end, you will have the servers are processing the requests. You have the server processing the requests. Now the concern is when suddenly there's a huge workload coming in into your servers, does your server able to afford those requests or not? If they don't, because workload is too high for them, then it will cause the consumer get hang. So that means when you do your purchasing on your whatever in your card, you do payment, you want to proceed, you will hang because the server at the back end doesn't able to afford. So what will happen is I want to have the capability that when there's a workload increase, the number of my servers at the back end due to processing will also increase. So after the 10, all right, then the workload go back to normal. Then my back end servers will automatically scale back to the ordinary. That's what I'm expecting. And this can be achieved by AWS. So a lot of the time when a company designing their scalability design or infrastructure, they will actually design in a way that the series of their servers able to scale up and scale down automatically, I would say automatically or dynamically according to the workload they design. All right, so that is the third benefit we have, elasticity. And of course, the last is we are the most innovative company in the world. So every year we are actually launching new and improved programs and products. So adopting into this model allowed the company to maintain the momentum with the tech leaders. And finally, they're moving to the cloud, allow the companies to be truly global, deploying anything, anywhere in the world within the minutes. So what happened is, if let's say today I build an application in AWS, currently my market probably is small, it's only focusing on ASEAN. Then after that, my business growing, and then I want to target US, EMEA, Japan, Korea, all right, different places globally or worldwide. Now, my application which running on AWS will be able to sustain the global expand or not. And I can tell you that this can be done very, very easily through AWS portal or even through API. Yeah. Okay, so sharing some benefit with you why organizations are actually moving to the cloud. Now, I want to share a little bit how is the infrastructure layer of AWS with you so that you can get some idea of that. Now, what will happen if when you look into the slide, you'll see the blue dot, right? Now, how AWS started is we actually started with the physical presence of data centers that is called regions. If you see here, we have regions. So currently we have 24 regions, okay, situated all over the world. We have 24 regions situated all over the world. So when I started 3 years ago, we only have that time we only have 16 regions. And then after 3 years, from 16 become 24. All right. Now, 16 regions here, 24 regions here. In each of the region, we have something called availability zone. So availability zone consists of one or more discrete data center where each with redundant power, networking, and connectivity housed in separate facilities. So in one region, we have minimum 2 availability zone. Okay, one region we have minimum 2 availability zone. So the nearest region to us in Malaysia is Singapore. So Singapore had 3 availability zones. So you can see from AZ here. So there are 3 data centers. There can be a cluster of data center in the AZ. Okay, and we have the AZ separated different places in a region. For example, Singapore, 3 AZ. So 3 availability zone. So they could be in the distance from 10 to 100 kilometers away, but definitely they are linked with the higher speed networks, or we call low latency network in this case. Any questions so far? Ada soalan? Any questions for understanding about AWS? Oops, too fast. Okay, you don't have questions? Let me ask you questions. Up to today, how many AWS regions we have? Very good. Thank you, Raja. Very good, Azizan. All right, cool. Okay. Now, even though we have 24 regions, which is already in services, but we still have some announced regions. If you look into the previous slide, we have announced regions where the announced region is actually, you can see from here, we have Jakarta, Milan, Spain, and Osaka. Cape Town is already in that actually. Yeah. So we still have all these things is already announced, but hopefully by this year or next year, they will be in services also. Okay, cool. Now, what are the services we do have? So there are a lot of different products and services are here for guidance that support for each of the customer that to meet their different outcome. So some people will say, what does AWS offer? So we will actually start from the infrastructures. Yes, okay, we will start from infrastructure that you can see at the bottom here. We have the regions, availability zone, and POP, point of presence. Point of presence is mainly providing a caching capability, caching services to all our nearest customers, especially for example like Malaysia. Malaysia do not have a regions. So a customer will say, hey, if I want to utilize AWS services, then probably I need to use Singapore regions. Somehow, if let's say you are hosting your application in Singapore, then you will say in Malaysia customer, when they want to access my application, then the request have to send to Singapore and come back. All right, they probably have some latency over there. So what we do is we build out a caching services called POP, or you have heard about the names called Edge Cache that can host the application near to Malaysia customer. It's just like branches that you can actually access the service easier and faster. Then we will go for core services. This is the fundamental services that we offer to our customer, such as compute. Compute is the servers. We have many servers for you to choose. Different spec, different OS. And storage. At the beginning, you all seems to be very keen on online storage. So it's storage, networking. Okay. We have the CDN services, which is called CloudFront. And of course, the database, which is, we have 14 types of database to let our customer to choose as according to their use case. And then, of course, security and compliance, which is very important to all the customers. And then looking down to management tools. Then we only look into different services. So we have analytics services, which focusing on data warehouse, BI, Hadoop, and so on. Applications, DevOps, mobile, IoT, machine learning, enterprise applications, hybrid architecture, migrations, and then looking into marketplace, and then support. So here itself, We have more than 200 services which is offering to the customers. So it depends on your interest. So some student will say, hey, I'm very interested in machine learning. Then this is the portions of the services that you can focus on. Some customer or some student will say, hey, I'm very interested on networking. Then you can actually coming down to the core services and look into how you can dive deep into networking areas. Some customers or some students will say, hey, I'm very interested on analytics. I like to do analysis, statistic, I like to do streaming. All right, when I have the streaming data like IoT sensors data coming in, I will able to do the analysis at the same times. So then that will be going down to analytics. I also have students are very keen in terms of application development, programmer, developer. Then they can go down to app services or DevOps. These are the area that they can actually looking at. So focusing down, dive deep into like, oh, I'm looking into containers. I want to look into how am I going to build Kubernetes, or I want to look into how am I going to build containers applications. All right. So these are the areas that we are actually offering to customers. So far? Okay. Now, who actually building on AWS? Who actually building on AWS? This is an interesting story. Now, if let's say today you wake up, okay, you want to have a breakfast. So you say, hey, today I'm planning to have a cereal as my breakfast. So you can go to take your Kellogg's cereals. How many people are eating Kellogg's cereals? Anyone? Anyone? No. Oh. Thank nasi lemak lama. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Next time I should go and find nasi lemak company. Oh, waiting for everyone to do a startup. Yeah, startup, and then find out a company selling nasi lemak. No, and then you can run on AWS. Okay, so breakfast done. So probably you're going to prepare yourself. And then you want to go out for works. Okay, so pump your petrol first through Shell. Or some people say, hey, I'm traveling today. I'm going to take a flight today. So you may take a Singapore airline, or you're going to take a Korean airline. Is Korean airline here? Korean airline is also fully running on AWS. Oh, yeah, so many airlines here. Qantas, Ryan Airline, Korean airline. All right, so after that, you want to have some entertainments, or maybe in the flight itself, you're eating a banana. Then Dole Company, all right, which is very famous. I always see Dole banana in Jasco or Aeon. Okay, then when you reach to your destination, then you will look for the hotel, then could probably like Hilton. Okay, and then while you are doing check-in, they're giving you a welcome drink, offer you a Coca-Cola, right? Okay, and then while you actually already stay in the room, then you can have some entertainment like in HBO. You can watch a Netflix. Okay, all right, and then you was doing some other things like taking shower. Okay, also while taking shower, you find they are using Unilever shampoo. So you can see the variety of them. They are all running on AWS. Okay, for Malaysia, yes, we have Astro. Malaysia perspective, we have Astro. We have Boost. Do you do e-wallet? E-wallet? Do you do e-wallet? Yes, no? Yeah, okay. So one of the e-wallet Boost is actually running on AWS. Yeah, cool. Nice. Your generation is already in e-wallet generation. Nobody bringing cash. Maybe small amount of cash. Yes. Okay, so now let's focus on education. So increasing demand for cloud skilled employees. So you can see there are a lot of enterprise customer, public sector customers, startup company, they are actually moving their workload into the cloud. Now the concern is you move to the cloud, then you need people who are skilled in cloud. Okay, so now is the time we want to let you aware that the cloud technology are important, that we want you to have the appropriate skill so that when you graduated, company were able to hire you because they're looking for people with cloud skill. So we don't want to have that gaps that company moving to the cloud, but they cannot find the people. So that's why it increased the demand for the cloud skill employees and the more job for every one of you. So a lot of companies, partners are actually come and approach me, Emily, do you have anyone who are very good in cloud or who willing to learn on cloud? No? So these are the demand that is coming in. So that's why we want to train you. We want you to get an alert awareness that, hey, you need all the skills in order to fill this job. So UITM is really doing a good job. Okay, they already giving you the exposure. All right, they let all the students to get aware about AWS, and we provide you the platform so that you can have your own learning from there. So degree required cloud curricular content in order to scale up the students. Yes. So you can see from Tim San, the words from Tim San, which is the president of Virginia Tech, he said that we have this big opportunity in the cloud together, which I think is phenomenal. So I think we'll look back at this time and think this was an inflection point of higher education and for education general. Yeah. So that's why actually we want to give all this awareness workshop with you because we want you to get the skills. So when you graduated, you can actually get recruited by the company. Now here is one of the customer stories by Alfredo Collins. But unfortunately, if I play the YouTube here, it will be lagging from your side. So I will share the link later on, all right, with every one of you, so that you can play the YouTube by yourself on your own laptops. Yeah, on your own laptops. Now, what is AWS Educate? So AWS Educate was launched in May 2015. They based on the needs from both the private and public sector, requiring cloud curricula to scale up, to upskill, to reskill the students. We are focusing from the K-12 and above, increasing the number of those who graduate ready to enter the cloud-enabled workforce. So at the higher level in Educate, we want everyone, including educator, including you as a student, can create an account in Educate and then take advantage of our no cost. We don't charge you 1 cent to like this. Okay, no cost offering. So this site has the portal customized for educator, for the post-secondary students, and even for K-12 students. Okay, so we also provide some other features, all right, with the console and this services that I can share with you later on. So what you will be getting is a self-paced offering, an online cloud career badges and the pathway. We have the hands-on learning, which providing you the promotional credits. We have the job board that map to the career pathway that is your interest. And then we're also offering training and professional developments. So all the employers will receive a new pool of cloud skill talents from here. So how does it work is when you go into the console, they will have a different learning pathway and then allow you to earn the badges. Besides that, for the learning perspective, you also can get the hands-on by logging into the Cloud Console, AWS Cloud Console later on. So what we support, sharing with you, we have hundreds of thousands of students. over 10,000 educators already, and then more than 2,400 institutions already signed up with Educate program. Okay, in more than 200 countries and territories. It's not new actually. All right, others, you can see others countries already have so many higher institutions, even K-12 schools are actually enrolling Educate programs. So that's why I want to bring this benefit to Malaysia and let every one of you can enjoy it, because you don't need to pay any single cent. But once you graduated, if you want to use AWS account, we talk aside of free tier, then every single services that you want to utilize, you will be actually paying as you go. Yeah, for students, so far still free. Okay. So for here, our program is backed by AWS Educate's unique cloud competency framework. It's a global standard. It's a global standard used to assess, create, and measure the Educate cloud program and content. So they have a framework already, creating all those cloud career programs such as K-12 program, career pathway, cloud degree, and then we want to actually providing the desired outcome, including the job placement for all our students who actually benefit from it. Sharing a little bit with you on K-12. Now, if I'm actually under K-12, okay, K-12 programs. So if I'm under 13 and above, okay, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, then when I sign up the Educate program, I will see this screen. More fancy a bit, okay, where I have different pages that you can earn. You click inside, you learn, and then you can earn the badge. That's for K-12 learner. So this is just sharing with you our collaboration partners and the cloud career pathway that you can start up, and then how you're going to earn the journey. If it is for educators, right, so especially like your lecturers, okay, your instructor, these are meant for educator. So for educator, you're allowed to access all the curated content that's shared by Educate. You can provision the student access through Educate Classroom. So as an educator, you can set up the classroom, and then you define what is the purpose of this classroom, such as like final year student project. And then what will happen is from this classroom, you can request certain amount of credit from AWS. Let's say I want to request 200 credits for this classroom. Then engage the student inside the classroom so that every single student will able to inherit that credit to do their project, AWS project. Okay. Opportunity to be an Educate Cloud Ambassador. Yes, we are encouraging you to be our Educate Cloud Ambassador. We're helping us to not only promoting but sharing the benefit of Educate program to the rest of the peoples. We also have, from time to time, we have the learning opportunities like webinars, hands-ons. Then we want you to join us also. So there are invitations going to be sent to you. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Lucy. We have AWS in-person training discount, especially for those who are actually going to go for exam. The 50% discount for the exam. For example, if you are taking associate level exam, okay, you are entitled for $75 discount. If you go for professional paper, one paper is $300. So if you are under Educate programs, then you're entitled for $150. Yeah. Okay. So if you go for the fundamental, which is called Cloud Practitioner Essential, then that paper is costing $100. And as a student, you'll encounter 50% where you just need to pay $50. Okay. All the e-learning resources we provided to all the students are free of charge. Everything is free. No charge for you. anytime. As long you are interested to come and learn AWS, the resources are always there for you. Okay, so educator features, yeah, give me 5 minutes, I'm almost done. Okay, so we have educator features that I'm going to share with you during the demo sessions later on. This is specifically for the instructor. Cloud Ambassador programs, which I actually shared with you also just now, where is the additional educator opportunity, all right, where we want them to able to share, all right, to share the great benefit of Educate program to the rest, so that they can actually helping AWS Educate to continue to become an even more valuable resources for us. Yeah, join us. Okay, join us. So we have the pathways for you to be entry level, intermediate level, or even you can go for advanced level. I'm going to show you in the second sessions from the console itself, then you can see better. So there are many badges that you can earn when you actually learn for especially certain career pathway. Job board. So we are also in the midst of building up this job board, getting all the companies to post their jobs here so that you can actually submit your resume. All right, immediately when you actually finish up your pathway or you're interested to look out for the jobs here. Yeah, so this is on the job board. I'm going to show with you later on for all these things. Yeah. Now, sharing on with you on the programs that we actually running since last year, which is called Build On. So last year, UITM also one of the active participants, and UITM won the prize, right? If I'm not mistaken, right, Dr. Naliza?
Yes, one team from FSKM. Computer
Yeah.
Science faculty, they won.
Yes, you see. So this build on programs is actually allow students across from 5 different countries to participate. All right, to participate. Last year we run in campus. Okay, in campus that we let students submit their ideas and then do the prototype using AWS platform and sharing their idea on the last day in order for us to define who is the winner. So based on the country, then we choose the best each of the country, and then we compete again in the ASEAN level. That's happening for this year. So for this year is because of COVID, everything is running full virtually online. So it become an online hackathon. So same process, it's just everything is running online. And the final was on 17th October, Saturday for this week. Last week, yeah, it's already over. Yeah, last week. So one of the sharing with you is on a Dr. Robo project that you can actually view from our public reference pages, where they're actually using on-demand prescription dispensing prototype. So they're leveraging the AWS technology, including AWS IoT buttons, AWS Lambda recognition. So you are more focusing on machine learning and IoT. So you can see this is their project. If you want to know more details, you can actually look into our public reference blogs. Share it during the Public Sector Summit in Singapore. So Public Sector Summit this year is going to be started tomorrow. All right, it started tomorrow. So you can see how does the project is actually been running programs platform, yeah, in order to propose these solutions. Okay, so later I can share this link with you also. Okay, so this one is more to job board. For the employee, they're able to actually submit their job positions to benefit to the customer, students, especially customer. I always to say customer already. Yeah, to benefit to every one of you who are looking for the job. Yep. Okay. So far, any questions? So I'm just like keep on just introducing all the features that we have inside the Educate. Any questions?
Maybe we'll just take a 5 minutes break. Is that
Yeah.
okay?
So before we go for break, I just want you to capture the QR code. So if you are new to AWS or you do not have any AWS Educate account, scan the QR code and then sign up. So in this sign up sheet, they already have the promo code there. So once you sign up, you are entitled to get 100 credits for today. Okay. So I leave you here for 1 minute. And then I also have for educator. So educator will be different than the students. Yeah?
So, Madam Emily, if the students join via this link, they are going to get how much credit?
100 credits.
100 credits, equivalent to
Yes.
$100.
Exactly.
All right.
One
Okay.
credit is $1. Yeah, one
Okay.
credit is $1.
Please, yeah, all students, please sign up to this link so that you can get access to the service. Yeah.
And I also have the one for educators. Yeah. Thank you, Fami. Okay, so while they're actually you signing up, I think Dr. Knowledge that you can actually giving them a 5 minutes to 10 minutes break and then come back. I'm going to do a demo with you. And we're going to look into the console, how they can actually access the features, how they can actually go to the console. And then even I also sharing the part for instructors, how they can create a class, they can ask for the credit in order to benefit to the student who are actually going to do the project. Yep. Any questions? If you do have, you can just put it into the chat box. Okay. And this one is for educator.
All right.
This is for educators. So if there's any educator are joining our seminar today, so this is specifically for educators.
Okay. May I know how much credit is offered for educators?
For educators, will be 150.
150. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay. If you have any sign up problems, you also can put into the chat box. Shall we give them a break?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Madam Emily. So we'll just pause for 5 minutes for the break. Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, we have been listening to interesting talk, yeah, from Madam Emily for about 1 hour, and I believe quite a number of our lecturers and also students have already joined, yeah, AWS Educate since last year. So we can actually start again to learn on using services from AWS, have the motivation again to do that.
Yes.
And I believe that we are going to have lots more students joining this year. And okay,
Cool.
so now we are going to continue again after 5 minutes break. We'll pause for 5 minutes and then we will start again for many more interesting things, yeah, about AWS and AWS.
I'm going to share with you on the console side. How does it look like?
Alright.
You can play with them. Yeah.
Okay,
I'll see
so
you
that's
back
the
in
demo
5
part, yeah?
minutes. Yeah. So I'll
Alright.
see you back by 5 minutes. Yeah, I'll see you back by 5 minutes. So probably coming back in 11:15.
11:15, yes.
Yeah, 11:15. Yeah.
Alright.
Cool. internship program is meant for students who are still in institutions. So like for Malaysia, I'm not too sure now. Okay, previously it's like final year, you need to do an internship program with the company. So AWS also have an internship programs with this company. Yeah, okay. So you can actually submit your internship request to us, and we will consider and then bring in you for internship programs. Yes. Yes, I'll share the link with you again. Just give me a second. Um, this is for students, and then I have the one for educator. No, personal email is not allowed here. You have to be using university email in this case. What is the Educate starter accounts? I'm seeing that it also keep. Yeah, the one that I'm sharing with you now is the Educate starter account. At this moment, we are actually looking for 3 months internship. At this moment, we are looking for 3 months internship. So if you already use our email, you cannot use it anymore. Yes, that's right. But you can try to use your personal email because at this moment they are using university email in order to get an educate account. You can have a try for your personal email.
Okay, Madam Emily is ready 11:15. Is it okay if
Okay,
we
cool.
continue?
Yeah, we
Okay,
can start now.
attention
Yes.
to all participants. You are all invited to rejoin our webinar session to the next talk from Madam Emily. So please welcome Madam Emily to continue. Thank you.
Can I use the credit given to buy a domain name? I don't think so. Because it is actually used for utilizing the services. Yeah, let me share my screen again. Okay, so probably you are seeing my browser. So before I actually want to share the real Educate homepage, this is for educator. I want to share with you on this. So please come back here for our main web page. Yeah, this is the one I'm using. Yeah, so this is the main page for Educate. Page for Educate. Is being supplied from that form. So the one that I shared with you, the link just now, is already pre-populated with the promo code. So if you join from that, then you can get an extra credit. If you join as ordinary by clicking the link from here, you only can get 50 credit for students. Yeah, 75 for the educators. So please join based on the link that I share with you so that you can get extra credit from there. Now, if you are students, so here is the portion that we have all this for you that you can actually click inside and have a look. So especially if you go down like I want to know about cloud computing without going in as educators or educate accounts, you're also able to see like learning about introduction to cloud computing, okay, IoT, big data. Even if you are very interested on robotic, then you can come down to RoboMaker and earn the RoboMaker badge, IoT, and so on. So these are all the places that we offer the resources for you for free. Okay. So let's say you can watch on demand, which bring you to the YouTube, and even you can go down to supplementary resources, bring it down to the PDF resources for you. So we have all the synopsis for you. Okay. Now, what will happen is now I'm going to sign in. So I'm going back. All right, just go back. For educator, yes, we have signed up for webinars. And again, this is also free for you. So now I'm going to sign in to Educate. Just give me a second. Just want to show you with the different roles. Okay, so I'll sign in again. All right, so let me show you as a student first. So I'm using my account and I sign. So now I'm signing as the youngest age I have, right? So I'm actually signing as age 14 years old. So there will be a different interface between age 14 to 17 and then 18 and above. So when you log in, you will log in as 18 and above. Okay, so automatically they will actually show you how does the page is going to look like. So in this case, you can see something called career pathway. So here you can see we have 12 career pathway, depends on which area you want to learn. For example, if let's say I'm totally new in AWS, so I will go for Cloud Computing 101. So if I click Start here, okay, so I'm going in. So you will see a series of resources and a series of quizzes and assignments is given to you. So you can see that, right, you're going to probably need to have 8 to 10 hours, and then you can get started. Okay, my line seems to be a bit slow. Yeah. there. And then you can go for the next. Go through the module, then you will come down to the quiz. So you can take the quiz. So there are 5 questions. Each question is 5 points. So you say AWS have reduced total cost of ownership by reducing the need to invest in the large capital expenditures. You say true. Okay. And then software as services is defined as what? I'll just simply compare. Oh, we don't have storage as service. And then you submit your quiz. So the series of activities is also already in place, saying that, okay, when you actually learn a particular topics, okay, and then you can try to refresh through the quiz questions, see whether you understand well or not. So you can take out the quiz again, okay, and all the thing is actually in place for you. Now then you can go down to the assignments also to build out your skills, note about cloud computing. I can actually have, back to the assignments. So you can look into here. Yeah. So this is only for the simple one. All right. This is only for the simple one. And I can come back here. Let's say I already done on cloud computing. I can come back here looking for data scientists, let's say. So I'll look for English. Okay. Okay. So you can go down for the modules. Okay. So there are many of them. So looking into analytics. Okay. So you can look into what is meant by data analytics, what does it mean by data science. I think there's something is loading up here. Yeah. So there are video resources for you to get started, to introduce to you what is EMR services under AWS. Right? All the resources is in place. Okay, so far. So this is on the pathway. So we have 12 pathway for you to actually explore. And then we have pages. So if let's say I'm very interested on mobile maker and I want to earn this page. So this batch, once you are actually already get all of them, you can put it into your resume though when you're actually applying a job, saying that you are actually the Educate programs graduates with all this page. Okay, so I can come down to earn my badge. Okay. So this is under the RoboMaker pathway also. Complete all the assessment, right, about duration 10 to 15 hours. So once you completed this pathway, then you will earn the badge. Yeah. Everything is free, no charges at all. Yeah, no charges at all. So we have all the badges for you. So you can see my portfolio. Okay. Yeah, I expected. Oh, great. Okay. Yeah, I'm just creating this one. It's just meant for demo purposes. Yeah. So I can search for a job. All right. So you can see like Essential already posting a job for federal cybersecurity engineers. Okay. I can search for job like, is there anything from Malaysia? I'm just checking. Yeah, see, we have for Malaysia also like automation test engineer under entity data services. So you can view the job. Okay, the descriptions. And then you can click on apply now. All right. So just make it easier that you can find the relevant job. Any others? I'm quite interested also. The SAP Malaysia. So what is the cloud path, career pathway they needed? Just the cloud computing, Salesforce developer, software developer. Did you see that? The program that I shared with you just now? Okay. So we are actually hiring TechU ASA, okay, Associate Solution Architect, which going to be work in Amazon Web Services in Kuala Lumpur. Yeah, so you can view the job. Yeah. Then you're gonna see me if you got this job in the office. Yeah, promoting AWS. Okay, so this is on the job portions. Now, if let's say you want to do your project using AWS services, so this is that you're going to go into AWS account. Oh, my starter account is normal. Oh, okay. So probably I have to use another account. Just give me a second. So when you actually logging in, you're supposed to see like how many credit is still left over, and then you're able to see how many duration that the session will be active. Let me go to another account. So if you have the accounts already, you can just follow my path. You're coming down to AWS account. So all my account is made for demo purposes. So you're going to use your own account. Yeah. So here you can see that my account has an estimated 30 credits. Okay, call remaining and access will be end on October 16, 2021. All right, so I was coming into Educator, starter account, Educate starter. So it will bring me to Wakaram. Wakaram is our console where I can see full access. 30, still I got still have 30 credit. My session will be 2 hours and 60 minutes, where if let's say I stay there more than this amount of time and I didn't log out, it will automatically log out for me. I go down to AWS console. Any question, just pause, yeah? Because if you don't you ask me the question, I don't know whether you are okay or not. Okay, so this will be the exact same console that everybody are accessing. And you can see from here that we also have the demo. For example, if you want to launch a virtual machine, how to build using a virtual server by using like Cell, how to register a domain with Route 53, how to build a web app, all these things will be actually showing you the step by step. Now, let's say I'm interested on EC2. EC2 is the virtual servers in AWS. Okay, okay. Just now, do you remember I mentioned about regions? So you have to choose your right regions. So I want to spin a server in Singapore. Then he will bring me to the Singapore console. If let's say I want to spin a server in Tokyo, then you just swap over to Tokyo. Run the application globally because you can easily just choose where your server will be located. Okay, so I'm just choose the one nearest to me, which is on Singapore. Now, if you actually play with me at the same time, all right, you can just follow my step. Yeah, you just want to play with me. I want to spin a server, okay, in Linux platform. Okay, I want to spin a server in Linux platform, and I want to ensure that my process to getting the servers is less than 1 minute. Imagine if you want to get a server physically, you may need some time, so purchasing, procurements, and then installing everything. Okay, why does it name EC2? Because it's Elastic Cloud Compute, the full name. Elastic Cloud Compute. So server is under compute category. So the full name is Elastic Cloud Compute, so we call EC2. Okay, so I come down to the instances. Okay, and I can come to here and launch an instance. Very slow, my network now. Now you can see from here. Now when you spin a server, you have a lot of image for you to build the server up. So AWS actually offering many image for different OS and different specs that is needed for different purposes. So we have many choices for you. Imagine if you want to own everything by yourself is impossible, even for a company also, okay? Because there will be so much of investment that you need to be putting on. So here I can choose Linux, I can choose Red Hat, I can choose SUSE, I can choose Ubuntu. These are all the OS. I can choose Microsoft. I can choose the server specifically designed for deep learning, for machine learning purposes. I want to spin up a Microsoft Windows server. Okay, all the choices are here for you. Now, I don't want to talk too many. I just want to spin up a server. Let's say I choose the first one. Oh, I don't have authorized. Okay, so there's some limitations there. Okay, fine. So I go to the launch instance. I choose the second. Okay. I don't have the authorized. Oh, I think it's probably I only can do it in Virginia. There's some limitation, yes. If you have an account, a real AWS account, not a starter account, then you are actually free to choose different regions for you to actually start up your platform. Because this is a starter account, so they have some limitations. What can I do now? Yeah. Okay. So let's focus everything to US, not Virginia. So now when you actually choose your OS, then the next is what is the spec you needed. How many virtual CPU? How much memory is needed? How much is the storage is needed? So here we have many choices. I can just drag for you. So many choices. If you go to buffet, also not as much choice as this. Can you imagine there's so many type of servers that you can choose in order to spin it up in reality, yeah? Not in starter account. So starter account do have some limitation. But if you have an AWS account, then everything is your choice. So many of them. So in this case, we divided into according to the family. Okay, so these are all the family we have with different spec, different purposes. Okay, and then you can see depends on all generation also. Okay, so we have a T1, T2, T3, T4, different generation, C4, C5, many generations for you. But of course, we will prefer you to use the current generation because it is better and faster, and sometimes they are also even cheaper. All right. So come down to T2. I will go into next. Configure my servers. How many servers you want to spin in a time? I want to spin one server, two servers. Oh, how many you want at a time? And then you can add the storage. So you choose one. I will add the storage. how much is that storage is needed. I will add the tags. So let's see, at the tag called name is UITM simple. Okay, so, and then I can review and launch. Okay, I can review and launch. So at the time I want to launch, I need to ensure I create a key pair. Key pair is just, when you launch a server, it's just like you build a house. Okay, so when you build a house, you need to have a key to open the door. So same cases here, when you build a server, you need to have a key pair. So what I'm going to do is I create a new key pair. Okay, I create a new key pair. And then I put it as UITM. UITM key. I download my key. The synchronization on my keyboard. That's some issue. Just give me a second. Okay. There's some synchronization on the key. Drag over to the first. For those who actually already reach out to this page, can you just download the key pair? I think I have some synchronization on my mouse. Yeah. When I move my mouse, the entire dialog box also moves around, so it actually affecting me to download the key. Yeah. See, I'm moving my mouse, they're also moving. Can you able to download your keypad?
What happened, Madam Emily? Is it
I
processing?
think no, I think when I move my mouse, the dialog is following my mouse.
Okay, you
So that's
can't
why
press the button or what? You cannot
yeah, I
press the
cannot
button.
press the
Oh,
yes, that's
okay.
why. So it's okay for those who actually, if you are following me with the same page, you download the key pair. You download the key pair. So let me stop sharing for a while. So see whether does it affect that. Yeah, it seems to be. Let me close it and I start all over again. I just close the whole thing and then I start all some problems there just now. Okay, I create again. So again, so I launch the instance. Okay, I choose to select the first one. And I review and launch. I launch it. Okay. I'm creating a new key pair. I say UITM key. Yeah, it will allow me to create. Okay, then I choose an existing key. No key pair. Oh, too bad. Anyway, do you have problem on creating download the key pair first? When I click on download on the key pair, it's supposed to have a pop-up box that allow you to save your key. Then you can launch. Right? Yep. I think something is wrong with my screen. Because when I click, there's nothing actually show up. Go back. Okay. All right. You don't want to allow me to create the key. I have other way to create the key. So let me go back to okay. I come to here and create the key. So I try a couple of times. He don't want to allow me to download the key, and then my mouse seems to be having some synchronization problems. Download the key, okay, and then launch the instance. So I'm trying to use another methods. Okay, and create the key pair. Okay, I'll save the file. Go on the desktop. Save. So I come back to the EC2. Is my key is recorded for my servers. Up to you. I come back to here again. I select, and then I don't go to the next step already that I already showed to you just now. I'll go to the review and launch. Then I will launch here. Yeah, did you see that? So I will analyze and launch servers for me, and this is the server ID. So every single server will be given a unique ID for you to reference. So when I come back to here, it will bring me back to the dashboard, and then you can see the status of the server. Okay, you can see that what is the status of the server, and my server type is t2.micro. Every time when I click on this, it's supposed to show me the details of the server down here. From the securities to network monitoring, and including the tags. Okay, so you can see that my server is already running. How fast it is? So fast, right? Did you count how long it actually take to start my servers until it is in running mode? Do you see that? So how can I actually connecting to my server? So you can see from here is connect. Okay, so you can perform a connections. If you have a terminal, because I'm using Linux, so if you have a terminal, then it will be easy for you. You can just open up the terminals and then you get connected to your servers directly by putting the right key pair and everything in details. Okay, so much easier. But remember, cloud computing, you need to have internet. If you don't have internet, sorry, you cannot connect. Yeah. All right. So when you do connection, nowadays there are many ways for you to do connect. When you do connect, you can use utilizing a session manager or you using an SSH client. So this is the one that I say SSH. So if I come back to here, let's say if I spin a terminal, just give me a second. I'm trying to open up my terminal. I want to show you a terminal, yeah. So this terminal is something like this. Okay. Did you see? Okay. So you will see here that they're putting ssh-i uitm key.pam. This is my key name, EC2 user, and then alias my EC2 IP names and all this thing. Okay. So I will take permission deny is because saying say no such file or directory. So what I have to do is delete clear. Okay. So I have to see where am I? Okay. So just now I saved my desktop, right? So if I list down, I suppose able to see my uitm and file. So now I'm going to put in the same thing. Okay. So can you see that? To open. Okay. Okay, so in this case, they're giving me saying that my uitm key seems to be like having a security compliance issue. All right, so you say back permission compliance issue. Okay, so that's why he give me a permission deny. But if let's say my uitm key is being protected, then I will be able to log into the service directly from here. If you're using a Windows OS, then you probably need to utilize the RDP. RDP tools that put in the password, which correctly connected, then you're able to connect to your server. I want to see from this side able to connect. No, it doesn't allow me. Yeah, so this is on servers where I can actually sharing with you if let's say how about if I'm using storage. So storage will be called S3. Oh, almost the time. Just give me 5 minutes, yeah. Okay, so X3 will be started by creating the buckets. So I can say uitm as and then I'll say and then I'll say next. This thing, but I'm just going to the next. By default, it will block the bucket. Now what happened is I'm creating an online storage. I want to upload all my pictures, all my documents, all my assignment to this online storage. So what I'm doing is I go to the service called X3, creating a bucket. Bucket is something like a folder, okay, a bucket. And then I can upload my file, my documents, my pictures, all the objects that I want to put it online, I will put it here. So I go to the next and then create the buckets. So when I go into the buckets, okay, then I can do an upload. So from here, I can add the file. And then let's say I'm choosing a Python file. I say open, and then I upload. So you can see the status that the file is actually uploading into the buckets now. So of course, there are still many services that you need to learn. I'm just sharing you two of them, that how you can actually utilize them. Yeah. So in this case, the file is already there. So if one day, okay, you want to download the file, you can click into the file and then you say download. Okay. So good thing to share with you that X3 is actually have 99.99% of availability and 11.9% of durability, that if you store the files there, the chances that the file to get lost is very, very, very low. Yeah. Alright. So I'm just sharing with you two of the services. So again, you can explore more. Alright, explore more based on the services that we do have here. So many, so many of the services here. Everything, some more. Alright, cool. Now this is for students. This is for the students account. I want to share with you for educator. Yeah, I know it's almost the time, right? Okay, so let me just log out. Okay, log out. Okay, so I will sign in. Now, for those who are an instructor or educator here, I'm going to demo using an educator account. So I'm signed in. Okay, so this is what you will see as an educator. Now, you will see all the contents. So these are all the features contents, which is uploaded by AWS Educate team. It's made for you to knowledge purposes, or you can add into your contents and then you can share. You can share. So there are so many contents here based on different categories. Then classroom and credits. So this is the part that you're going to request or go to your AWS Educate Classroom. So you can create the classroom template like this, main for Cloud Basic. You want to build a website, or you want to have a starter account template. You can choose all three of them. Then you go down to the next. So putting the details like course name, UITM sample project, or final year project, for example. The course number, AWS 001. Course description for student final year project on big data. Course info link, I just do a day. Start date, more, Amazon.com. Start in 2020. Then you can put in the, sorry, better this one is easier. Yeah. And then the date, let's say 30th. So credit amount is how much you want to request per students. So for this class, let's say you have 20 students, and you say each student will be entitled for 50 credits. So you can put in 50. Okay, so estimated enrollment is 20 students. Then I can go to the next. So in this part, you're going to upload your students. So you download the templates, put in all the students' email address. So automatically it will be loaded once it is approved. that it will be automatically uploaded 50 credit for each of the students' accounts automatically. All right, so I will get to know that, okay, for this classroom, these are the 20 students who are actually signed up for this classroom. So when the instructor is requesting for 50 credit here, then each of the students will be getting 50 credit into their accounts directly. Is it clear for you? Any questions for the instructor? So I'm not going to create the classroom because I don't have students. All right, so back to here. Now, if let's say you want to request credit, about credit, now this is for the student, 50 credit for each student. But you have something like a research project. So as an educator, you have a research project and you want to request a credit for your research project, then you can request a bulk credit. So here you will see this feature is not enabled for my institution because when I register, okay, I register as AWS University. So AWS University do not have an institution account for with Educate, so that's why I don't have these features. But for UITM, you were able to see these services that you can request a bulk credit based on institution account. Then you can get, like, I want to have 2,000 credit for this research project. So this is the part that is fall under request credit for your class. Okay, so far? Now, if let's say you are actually bundled with some other learning management system like Moodle, Kiku or whatever, then you can actually link your Educate programs with the LMS, learning management system. I'm not too sure UITM do have or not, but if let's say you have, then you can actually do the linkage here. This one is meant for, let's say you start a class. Among your 20 students, you may have all these 20 students or 15 students are new to Educate. They don't have an Educate account. Then you can request this registration link and give it to them. Ask them to sign up Educate account and then come to your class. But my preference is let them register as with the promo code because they will get more credit from there. This one will be an ordinary number of credit they will get in this case. Okay, so that's now what you see. And you can add it into my content to come into here, to come into my personal contents if you want to. But definitely in future, for enhanced features, you can actually have your own content and then you upload it into the web repository here. Included soon. Now, as an educator, you also can have your own AWS console. Okay, so you can actually choose to use your personal AWS account, or you can use the AWS Educate starter account. What's the difference between these two? If you are an instructor or educator, when you sign up for an AWS account, you do not want to use a credit card, then you can start it with Educate starter account. That means we were giving you 150 credit and then you can play around with the services offered from AWS. Second is you say, oh, Educate starter account have a lot of limitations. Some of the advanced services I cannot use. For example, if I want to spin a server in Singapore region, I cannot. Okay, then you can use a personal